Hi, this is Mc Loone, Associate Editor with Fire Apparatus and Emergency Equipment Magazine. Down here in Orlando, Florida for day 2 of the FDSOA Apparatus Symposium. There were a couple things I wanted to share with you today, some points to ponder from the conference here. First of all, I'd like to talk about apparatus safety features. Now, a lot of times we think of apparatus safety features as maybe ABS, maybe some of the airbag systems that are available. Mostly things that are protecting the firefighter in the case of having a motor vehicle crash or something of that nature with the apparatus. But there are an awful lot of safety features that we don't necessarily think about that that ultimately will help you reduce the costs involved with having firefighters injured on the job. One of the leading causes of firefighter injuries are exertion and strains. And although most of the time we think about that when we are involved in the firefight, there are also other things happening at the apparatus which can cause those strains, whether it's slipping off of a step, hurting your back, hurting a knee, whether it be slipping on the as you're packing hose in the back, things of that nature. Which there are things that we can do to make these apparatus safer so that we are not experiencing those injuries. Electronic stability control is something. Basically, the presenter Roger LaCour was talking about safety features that exceed the NFPA standard. There are minimum safety requirements, but there are also a lot of things that we can do for these apparatus that are not necessary to meet the minimum requirements of the standard. Some of the things that we can do to reduce firefighter injuries are as simple as equipment mounting. Where are you putting the equipment? I've written in editorials in the past that you want to put equipment where it makes sense and where it is practical. When I wrote that, I really didn't think much about the injury facet of that, admittedly. But when you think about strains and sprains and exertion injuries, it just makes sense. I stand 6'4", so for me, having things mounted high in a compartment isn't as big of an issue as it would be for someone who is 5'8", between 5'8" and 5'10", more of an average height, 5'10", 5'11", something like that. However, I'm built like a stick, so when you take a look at that, although maybe I can reach something that's a little higher, if it is too heavy, I'm going to hurt something bringing it down, whether I twist a shoulder, whether I hurt my back. Most of the time for me, it's going to be back. It's going to be a back injury. And let me tell you, back injuries are no joke. A few months ago, I had it wasn't really a back injury. I had been traveling. After folding myself into the plane seat, I hurt my lower back. I could not bend over all the way to put my gear on. It was a challenge to put my gear on. It's things like that you want to be thinking about when you're speccing out an apparatus. Some of the investments up front just make sense. Cameras, rear backup cameras. They also now make cameras that are side view cameras, so that if you're headed down a highway, it's a divided highway, you can make that lane change a little bit easier and just a little bit safer. Yes, the mirrors are there, but sometimes some of those items that you can spec out in the beginning of your process, the investment in them will help you down the line in reducing firefighter injuries and the costs involved with those injuries. So when you're thinking about it, look, Roger LaCour, who made the presentation, made the point. Don't think of it as a cost. Think of it as an investment. There was also another session that I attended today. It was actually one that we've covered in Fire Apparatus and Emergency Equipment Magazine. A number of months ago, it was July, I wrote an article about trying to keep costs down on apparatus. And Chad Newsom, who was with PL Custom, took that a step further in a Fire Industry Today when he wrote there was one point in the article that I made, which was one way to keep costs down is to go for what you need versus what you want. And Chad Newsom took that a step further and expanded on that concept in a Fire Industry Today, and he wrote an article on needs versus wants. He took that article and he based this session on needs on that article. There's a lot of different things in there. And one of the things, it wasn't specifically on needs versus wants. It was actually sort of a process that you should follow before you ever even call in a salesperson. Because, and so what you want to do is you want to establish the needs before you ever call a salesperson. Now, to do that, you have to, there are a number of different ways. He espouses using the boarding concept, which is you split the truck committee or the purchasing committee into several subcommittees and let those subcommittees just give them a pad and a marker and put down everything they want on that thing. You don't judge the requests, you just put everything down. And then you go back, you look at all of them, you weigh them, and you come up with what the needs are versus the wants. And you split these subcommittees up into various segments. Maybe one group covers suppression and another group covers maintenance. So the people that are in suppression come up with needs and wants for that aspect of the apparatus. For the maintenance people, they come up with the needs and wants for their area of expertise, basically. And so you take these, and eventually you whittle these down, and you kind of come up with a consensus among the group of what the needs are for that apparatus. After you establish those needs, you can call up a salesperson because, and Newsom said this time and time again during the presentation, and he made this presentation with Brian Brown, who is a fire apparatus and emergency equipment columnist. He brought up again and again that when you bring in the salesperson, having a list of agreed upon needs does a tremendous amount for developing a spec and developing a bid for that apparatus. One other thing they mentioned was using performance bonds. Make sure you use performance bonds so that you can guarantee that you will get that apparatus if something should happen to the company that you go with. Having a performance bond will allow you to make sure that that apparatus gets complete. So that was pretty much day 2. Those were the 2 major things that I took away from it. There were many sessions today. Those 2 left the biggest impact on me. This has been Chris Mc Loone, Associate Editor with Fire Apparatus and Emergency Equipment. I will follow this up tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. It might be Thursday. I'm down in Orlando. I live in Philadelphia. Right now it's being clobbered by a snowstorm, so hopefully I'll be able to get home tomorrow. But for sure on Thursday I'll do one more video blog covering the show. So take care, stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.